Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. We are your positive gaming and Xbox One community. Thank you very much for joining us. Believe it or not, this is podcast number 270. Oh, my goodness, 270.
Whoa.
As always, I'm joined by the bros, the XoneBros. It's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello.
Jordan the man.
Hello.
And I am X1. Welcome to this week's episode. It's been a great week. It's summer. Summer's in full gear. It's freaking hot outside. It's hot.
My grass is dying.
Your grass is dying? Not mine. I'm letting it grow up high. And so it's actually getting greener.
So should you do
once.
that? Should you let it grow? Because I cut
sure.
it every week, and
Yeah.
I like to cut it like the fairway.
No,
on the golf
they
course, you know.
They tell you to go
when
high.
you go when you go short, it takes way more water.
Takes more water, and it's easier to get diseases and all that stuff.
If I let it grow, will it come back to life a little bit more?
Well, yeah. So what happens is grass goes into hibernation. So I have grass 101 because I want my grass.
No,
to be the best looking
the
on
grass
street.
is the haircut of the home.
Grass goes into hibernation, so when it gets too hot or too cold, it goes into hibernation. So if you're watering it too much, if you're cutting it too much, and you let it grow, it'll go into hibernation, and then it will go brown over summer, and then it will kick in at the end of summer when you don't want it to be growing, right? So you let it grow long, you let the roots grow deep, you don't water it so much, and you get
Well, I feel like my yard. I feel like my yard started at like a -20, and I've got it down to like a -13.
It has. It's improved.
Yeah.
It's
So,
improved
but I'm
a lot.
just trying to work on the grass.
so even growing
Yeah.
it long, then you'll start to see the seedlings, and it'll kind of reseed itself too.
And
There's-
the weeds, it'll crowd out all the weeds.
It's-
Oh, really? Because
yeah.
I have in a few spots, I feel like I got the crabgrass.
Oh yeah,
I actually
get rid
don't
of
know
all
what
of it.
crabgrass is. Is it just
It's
the
a
clumps
weed.
of grass?
I think it's just a weed.
yeah.
So anyway, I'm
It's
just trying to work.
have
on
you
the
ever
grass.
made that and pulled the grass and made the noise? It's
Yeah.
like the thick. That's crabgrass. It's the
Oh, it
It's
cuts
the-
you too.
thick stuff.
It cuts you deep.
So maybe I shouldn't mow tomorrow. Just let it grow another week.
That's what I tell my wife when she's like, "Go mow the lawn." I'm like, no, I'm actually helping it.
Let me play.
Let me play games. Let me help the
No,
grass
but like,
grow. And
but
play
like seriously,
games.
you know that.
Yeah, no, really.
Okay, yeah.
That
I want it to come
raise
back.
the height of your lawnmower. Remember, you complained about the height of my
Well,
lawnmower
it's
when
because
you
you were
borrowed
like
it.
a wilderness, man. Like I still feel like that's too high.
Yeah, just up. Yeah, but look at how green my grass is. It's like a luscious jungle of beauty.
Yeah. Like I mowed my grass and nothing happened. You were like a foot off the ground.
Yeah,
That's why you don't have
That's-
to, and you don't have to mow it as often.
Yeah.
But I
Needs
like
less water.
I see people's homes and they got that like fairway looking grass. You
this
know what
will
I
be
mean?
when it's even.
Yeah. That fairway looking grass costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's a very
I want
specific
it.
type of grass.
I want it for not a lot of money.
You can't have it. It's not doable. Not doable at all.
Yeah.
Guys, some big things happened in Overwatch. Some announcements that I want
yeah.
to talk about. Overwatch announced changes to their
Actually,
queuing system.
I got the patch notes pulled up if you guys want to go through it.
Let's go through the patch notes real quick, and then I want to discuss it. I want to get your opinions.
Yeah, this is actually the first story in the news, but I guess we'll start out with Mark since he knows the most. But the first big change is the roll queue.
Yeah, so there are role queues. So for those of you that don't know or have never played Overwatch, when you jump into Overwatch, there's classes, and you can pick anybody to play. Out of all the classes, there's a tank class, an attack class, and a healing/support class. And typically you can pick any player. There's 6 players on a team. So and then you queue up and you get randomly put with people. This created some issues because you'd get unbalanced teams. So you'd have too many tanks, too many attacks, not enough support, etc., etc. Now every team will have 2, 2, and 2. You have to select your class before queuing up.
Yeah. So
To get into a match.
2 people can be tanks. 2 people can be damage.
Yep.
2 people can be healers.
And I will guarantee everybody has the exact same classes on every team. Spicy, what are your... this is a big change that's coming.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? You like it? Don't like it? Do you think this is going to fix things, or is it still going to be a cluster?
No, I really think so. I think the reason they're doing this is because the last 2 years, in the professional esports scene,
Sure.
they have just ran what's called GOATs. We've talked about it on the show before, greatest of all time. Because if you don't do that, you lose, and that's a 3 tank, 3 healer setup. And since they're basically making the positions permanent, 2-2-2.
change everything.
They're removing that from the professional scene. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be guessing, but no, the game is balanced in such a way that unless you play that team comp, you're going to lose, basically.
Okay.
Right? There's teams that have tried to change it, but they've just lost.
They get destroyed.
Yeah, so how, I don't know if you want to know my thoughts on it or anything.
Yeah, your thoughts.
Generally, I don't like it when they balance the game at the top because a lot of the 95%, 98% that play the game that aren't at the top,
Sure.
it affects us usually in a negative way. For example, they balance, and that's just how Blizzard does it. Blizzard balances the game StarCraft at the top,
Sure.
and everyone else feels the wrath of that
Sure.
all the time. So this is a case of them balancing at the top. This, however, I talked over with Jordan a little bit because initially when a big change comes to a game, it can be really good and it can be really bad. And I generally don't like change, but the more that I think about this, the more I think it's okay. I remember this is how Heroes of the Storm runs, and I don't play League of Legends, but I think they run it this way too. But basically, it makes it so you're not being yelled at as much if you're playing your position, and because when you join a game or when you're matchmaking by yourself, generally you like a player like me, I try to fill for the team because everybody wants to be DPS.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be damage. And if everyone's damage, we'll lose.
Yeah.
That's just how the balance works in this game. So the fact that it's forcing 2 healers on your team, I think is a good thing.
Sure. Now you can be any player in the healing class.
Yeah.
And so I think that's nice because you're still getting freedom and different play styles within the healer class.
Yeah.
Or within the DPS class, or within the tank class.
Yeah, I think I like this because they're also adding individual per class ranking systems. So your support characters will have their own ranking system: 2,500, 2,000, 3,000. Diamond, platinum,
Sure.
gold, whatever. And that's separate from your DPS class, and that's separate from your tank class, which allows you to play these genres at your peak level.
Yeah.
For example, if you were playing matchmaking, and I'm really good at a DPS character, for example, and
Deeps.
yeah, deeps,
just like-
and when I get in there, I'm a flex player as well, right? I'm flexible, and everyone's playing DPS. And let's say I'm not as good at healing. Well, I'm going to now be playing a character that I'm not very good at, and so my ranking will go down overall. That's how it is currently.
Sure.
But since there's individual rankings, you're going to be ranked per genre that you're playing, and I think that's actually the fact that they're doing that makes me like this move a lot
Yeah, so
more.
you can be top tier DPS ranked, right? You're in the top echelons as a DPS player, and then you're working your way up the ladder through the lower echelons with, say, your healing player. They're
Yeah.
completely separate ranks.
I think it's a good move.
From me, for a layman, it seems like a good move off the bat. Have even teams because I'm just playing quick play lately. That's all I've been doing, just trying to get my feet wet again. And some games you do pretty well, and some games you get absolutely destroyed because nobody on your team wants to be anybody
Yeah.
helpful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this will force every game to at least, in theory, be competitive or more competitive.
Yeah, I would
It's
say more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not being forced to play characters you don't want to play.
Yeah.
You're not being shamed for picking characters.
You're not being shamed.
You probably still will be shamed.
You're not being shamed into deeps.
The Overwatch community generally is not very forgiving with their attitude about everything about
Did you
life.
see, though, the one big change I actually really enjoyed? 5 placement matches over 10.
Yeah, that's a good move.
What
Which
was-
technically is
10
15.
10 is just a ton.
Yeah, technically it's 15 because you got 5
Yeah, per each.
per slot. But
No, I think I like it. I think I like the move.
Has this just shaken up the entire meta for the professionals?
well, it no longer exists.
They're the first people. So this is not live now. This is live on the PTR as of yesterday, which is PC only, right?
Sure.
And that's what the esports scene plays. That is going live sooner to them than the public.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in one of the upcoming rounds of the Overwatch League. Is where
Yeah.
they're gonna
So because of this, I'm sorry, I'm not in the esports scene of Overwatch at all. But because of this meta, was it kind of dying as a league? Is this like Is this a move that Blizzard sees as trying to revive it?
It actually, so Loyal Doyle in chat, I'm going to say what he says because this is going to answer both that.
Okay.
So he says, I like this idea for most of us players so we get balanced teams, but I don't love the pro level. If a pro team had an out-of-the-box creative idea using different balance of characters, feels like it needs to be possible. So, Loyal Doyle, that's kind of true, but the fact that the 3 tank, 3 healer is so powerful, it is so powerful that no one else plays anything else. So the creative level of those teams are out.
Like there was no creativity.
They can't, and it's been stagnant like that for like 20 months.
So you would say the pro level has just been stagnant.
Yeah, and so no one wants to see that again and again and again and again. I mean, it was fun for the first 3 months, but the meta has not changed, and that's simply because they have the healers that they have, and the tanks that they have can deal a lot of damage and they can just absorb a lot of health, right?
Yeah.
Healing. Like Zarya is like the craziest tank damage dealer, and
like Roadhog, right?
Well, they don't. Yeah, but they don't play Roadhog, right? So it's what it is. It's Reinhardt, Zarya, and Diva essentially, and basically you just all the tanks are charging up Zarya's balls, or her energy, whatever.
Yeah.
So her balls are more or whatever, and then they have high healing and stuff like that. So has made the way that the game has been made out over the course of time, and the fact that they can't remove heroes, or I don't think they should ever remove heroes. I don't know, but the way that they have made these heroes up until now has made it so unless you play that 3 tank 3 healing comp, you're not going to win the game. So the creativity is gone.
Well, and with forcing everybody to 2, and there's so many players within each of those class, you are going to have creativity because you're going to have experiments like just with different combos within each of those classes.
Yeah, I think this is kind of on the lines of like if you were to take a sports, like actual sports.
Soccer.
It's soccer.
It's a faulty sport. That's right. I said it. It's a flawed sport. And I'll tell you why it's flawed right now. And this is I'm getting to a point here. Penalty kicks. Penalty kicks are stupid. They're retarded. Why have them? Why have a shootout? You don't need it. It's basically the ref gets to decide a game for you. It's a guaranteed goal almost 9 times out of 10. Also, if you're a far inferior team, all you got to do is play till tie, and then it's a 50-50 crapshoot on a shootout. Like, it's not based on skill at all. So it's like if soccer got rid of penalty kicks.
Yeah. I guess that's a good way to, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that was a good rant about how stupid.
Tell me I'm accurate because that's accurate.
Well, no, I mean I don't know how it relates to the positions on Overwatch, but I agree 100% with what you're saying.
It's like changing those rules. That's what I'm saying. The meta has just changed now.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's more about skill.
Yeah, I think this is making this a much more balanced and creative. These players can now be creatively. They can do things more creatively, right?
Sure.
So initially, like what Loyal Doyle in chat was saying, but this is unlocking that potential because now they are being forced. Now we have 2 goalies, 2 fullbacks, and 2 forwards,
sure.
And they can't change positions, so they have to be very good at what they do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what... Now you can intermix. You can get a lot of more interesting comps going.
And
DPS players
it'll be
excited.
nice. It'll be nice to see the pros play the damage players because that's like 50% of the characters.
Well, and that's the funnest part about watching pro players is how good they are at DPS.
Yeah,
it is absolutely crazy.
You're gonna get some McCree shots out there.
Yeah, they're so good. It's like us playing basketball and then we can never take a shot.
Yeah,
because I don't know, because that's our comp. But then all of a sudden you're watching an NBA player just sink threes, right? Because that's the DPS of the NBA is the 3-pointer shoot.
Yeah.
3-point. You know what I'm saying?
Now, another thing to mention is when you're only locked into your role, you're still not locked into your character. Because when I was first hearing about this, we were talking about it, I didn't know if you were locked into your character or not. Yeah, so you're just locked into your role. So if you pick support, you can play any of the support classes. You can switch from Mercy to Ana, whatever you want to do, right?
It's interesting because this does change the balance a little bit with support characters because I did read that they're Brigitte, for example, they're boosting her healing because her healing wasn't too...
Her little armor thing.
It wasn't good enough.
It wasn't... Well, yeah, and if she's going to be your healer... She was like a trickle healer, kind of, right? So, because when she would swing her little flail around, it would slowly heal your teammates. But you need it to be a little bit more if that's the person the character has been choosing, right? So there's going to be definitely balance shifts in maybe even kit updates. I don't know, but this is the first step into making Overwatch more watchable in the esports scene, and I think it's going to make it. Theoretically think that this is going to help the game as far as even on our level. So, I've always I explained that I'm nervous about when they make these heavy-handed. This is a heavy hammer change. Yeah. This is a big shift in how Overwatch
sledgehammer.
Plays. Yeah, I think this is the one time where when they're doing it at the top, it's going to make the game more fun for other players everybody. Down low.
Yeah. Well, my initial as a layman, my initial response was, "All right, good." Quick play matches will now be competitive, or at least have a chance to be competitive, right?
Yeah. What's interesting, too, is I think support players are going to be able to play the game a lot more because everybody wants to play DPS, in my experience, and they'll get queued up immediately.
Yeah, it's going to be like every other game, tanks and...
Well, and also they said they're going to encourage... wherever there's a community need more, they'll encourage by if you play healing, for instance, you get a loot box every other game or something at a faster rate than if you play, and that's how they can manage and keep them even.
And that's what they do in like you take a game like World of Warcraft or something, because DPS is so heavy, right? Yeah. They reward you hey, instead of getting 50 gold, we'll give you 500 gold if you queue as a tank. Yeah. Right?
Very cool. Well, there you go. The role queue, the queue roll.
Yesterday, speaking of Overwatch, I got the American flag McCree skin, not even trying.
Randomly.
Yeah.
Oh. And he goes, he's like, oh my gosh, Mark, guess what I got? I'm like, you didn't just get the American flag McCree, did you? It's the best skin I've ever seen.
What's funny is Mark doesn't open loot boxes anymore. And I'm like, he's right. I get loot boxes because they nerf the leveling, but it's so right, and you never get. I always get force spray, so I stopped opening loot boxes. So I had a 9 or something just sitting there. And then it's the summer event going on right now, which is now the summer event, right? And I was like, oh, well, look, a summer box. Okay,
okay, let's open it up.
And then it was like USA McCree, which I think is the best skin in the game.
It is cool. It is
sexy. It is. And your gun is an American flag.
It's so sexy.
It's so cool. I have 140 just sitting there, and
we actually were playing a lot of Overwatch. We played yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun. The three of us
as a group, the three of us, super fun. I feel like we did pretty good for not really having played together. Well, you guys play together, but I've not played with you guys. I've been playing Soldier a lot, and then I was playing Mercy with you guys.
Yeah, you did really good on Mercy.
I did okay with Mercy.
You did really good on Mercy. Yeah.
I like playing Mercy.
The healing characters are nice beginner, entry level players to play.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like your defender in soccer and your goalkeeper. You can see everything.
Yeah.
You can really see where you can see map knowledge. You can see where players are moving. You can see when people go out of position a lot more. And generally, you're not thinking about that when you start that game. But you'll start to see it when you're a healer a lot more than any other character. Like DPS characters are so narrow. They're so focused on just shooting stuff that when you're healing everybody, you're looking around. I have a player over there that needs help. I have a player over there that needs help. Yeah. It really is a good way to learn the game is to play the support characters first, and then you can learn a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is Mercy the sexiest character in video games? She's freaking sexy.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
With those wings. Damn.
I don't know in video games.
You should see her Valkyrie outfit that I have.
Oh, really?
Actually, there was an outfit that I saw the other day. Let's just say I might buy it for my wife. You know what I mean?
Good.
Remember, it was called the Star. I was like, holy crap! When she got play of the game? You remember that outfit? I was like, whoa,
who was that?
Yeah, we hadn't played this game in a while. We got some new outfits.
That was a balance update.
How do we become friends with that guy?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, yeah, she's pretty good looking.
No, very cool. Let's, guys, I mean, that was kind of news, but I really wanted to talk about the Overwatch change because it's a big deal. It's a big change.
It's a big one.
Overwatch, it's back, baby.
It's still been around. It's just, you get frustrated
stagnant,
with it.
like you said.
Yeah, I have not seen a meta game last so long as how that's happened. And that's just how the characters are built.
Yeah.
So this is their move to fix that. And I can see why they did it. And it's going to be exciting to see the actual DPS players in pro level just tear things up.
What's funny is they probably have like 3 DPS characters in the pipeline, and they're like, no one's ever going to play these guys. How do we? They're doing like all these work, right?
Let's force them to play them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. No, but it'll be good because before it was the triple tank, triple healing. People would play Soldier. People would play McCree. And
I love Soldier. Soldier's a blast.
Widowmakers. The pro level Widowmakers will blow your mind.
Let me ask you: is Soldier, because Soldier has a self heal? Mm-hmm. So is Soldier? This is how I play Soldier. I throw down my heal a lot. That's it. I throw down my heal and I try to hit, and then I'll hide, heal, come back, and try to hit some more. Is he like a mid-range fighter?
He's mid-range to long range, and he's trickle down. Like he's chip damage. Yeah, he's chip damage. So he does have his Felix rockets.
Yeah,
those are good for trying to pick people off, but you kind of want to save those for when you're being dived a little bit. Because you're not very good close range compared
his
to the
ultimate,
other
I don't feel
characters.
like is that strong because it doesn't last that long, and so you got to drop it at the right time where you don't have to aim at anything and you automatically hit them.
Can be strong.
Can it? Okay.
And just like most,
I'm just not using it correctly right now.
Most abilities and most ultimates in the game, they can be really good.
Yeah.
You just need to know when. And
It's so much fun. It's fun to get back into because I haven't played that game. I think the last time I played that game, the newest character was Bastion.
Oh, Bastion's
always been there.
Yeah, so
then
that was launch.
Then there you go.
I believe
at
that
launch.
was the beta.
It was launch when Bastion was like the OP character.
Yeah, because no one knew you had to just go to the left instead of right on him. Those were the best tweets when they were complaining. Nerf Bastion, they're like, whoa, what if you went around? You know, they're like trying to give you clues. What if you just maybe went left?
Not dying.
Well, what's so funny is how strong he was, and then people were still saying they would complain when you would choose him. There was like Bastion shaming, but
there still
won you the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird things that happen in that community. I don't understand it. I just tend to like the game. So
it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's a fun game.
With that, let's get this show on the road. Boom, baby. Jordan, tell us what is happening in the world that is Xbox One this week.
So, like we talked about, Overwatch is having its summer event, so be sure to check that out.
Boom.
Try and get your cool McCree skins.
Yes.
One of my recently favorited games, Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves!
Because I've gotten back into it.
Dude,
right?
Can I tell you something about Sea of Thieves?
Yes.
I think Sea of Thieves has secretly had the most influence, one of the most influence on the game industry in a while. Everything's going pirate. Everything's going pirate.
That's right.
The end.
Everything's also going cowboy.
Pirate and cowboy.
Yeah.
Wait, is everything going cowboy though? What else is going cowboy?
Yeah, the Rainbow Six.
Because
Siege
Apex.
cowboy.
Well, here we go. Apex Legends. It's pirate themed season, right? Season 2. They're going with pirates.
You know what's funny is weren't pirates just basically terrorists?
Terrorists,
and we're like celebrating them.
Old school terrorists.
Yeah, like didn't they just go up to islands and just murder and
the founding of Al Qaeda, I believe, was a pirate.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard. That's what I mean. Blackbeard. Have you seen those terrorists' beards? They're usually black.
Yeah.
Blackbeard. Al Qaeda, pirate, same thing.
Yeah. No, their origin. Yeah, no.
I stepped out for a second.
Their origin story.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
we're
Pirates
talking
were
about
just old school terrorists.
Like they were literally terrorists. They went up to islands. They just raped and pillaged.
I thought about this a lot,
and we celebrated.
Well, were they terrorists or more like mafia extortionists?
No, they were terrorists.
They were the terrorists of the sea.
Yeah, they literally.
That's
and then
when you say rape and pillage, they did that. Like
on their boats, and then on islands.
Okay. No, and what's funny? I mean, I've thought about this a lot. Like right now,
raping and pillaging.
Well, who doesn't think about that?
Or pirates.
That was really good, David.
Oh,
that's not what I was thinking about.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking about like pirates, like 300 years ago, were like the scariest thing, and governments banded together to get rid of these people.
Oh yeah.
And
now we put them
we're
on our
like,
8-year-olds
and Halloween, we're like, I'm a pirate.
It's
woo!
because of Peter Pan.
And that's what I'm like. In
Peter
300
Pan.
years, are we going to have like serious?
Oh yeah, people will be like,
Well-
oh, look at Jimmy, he strapped a bomb to his chest. Isn't that adorable?
Terrible.
It's just going to elementary school.
Well, David, I don't know if you,
instead of pirate patches.
David,
like
you didn't hear this part.
suicide
but
bombers.
David thinks Al Qaeda's origin story is pirates. Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
Because Blackbeard, and then they have Blackbeards.
Yep.
You know.
This is. I don't know how to talk about this.
That desert used to be an ocean.
Yeah.
Hey, I have seen Sahara. Have you
Yeah,
seen that
yeah,
movie?
Yeah, the Civil War ship went out there.
Yeah,
and then
I
they
remember.
launched it,
And then the coin,
and then they
and
shot
then-
the cannon in the helicopter.
See?
And then there was a beach scene with that one
See?
guy.
And
all right. I'm onto something. I'm onto
and
something.
Penelope Cruz.
Penelope
Ah,
Cruz got
Penelope.
saved by that. All right.
Penelope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an ocean. Wait, how come it stopped being in like a river or something?
I don't know the
Oh,
sun.
I think they used
The sun?
Evaporation.
It's evaporate,
where-
but it's gone.
it's
Like
where-
it's gone hard.
It's where clouds come from now.
But like, what
The
happened to
the
it?
clouds we have today
They-
were
the-
the ocean.
But
back
what
then.
happened? And
They-
that was only 200 years ago.
They built a dam.
Yeah, someone built a dam somewhere.
Yeah, someone built
Oh.
a dam like right at the
and
beginning.
it just killed
And
like all
some,
this.
some jerk was like, "Let's build a dam."
And it
Turned
turned it all
built
to
a dam
sand.
right
it all to sand. It was used to be like a luscious jungle.
Yeah, built it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it came from you remember the mummy, like how it was a jungle, and then the pyramid sucked it all up.
I bet you that's exactly what happened. There was a hole in the mummy verse that sucked all the water away.
And you had to run and beat the shadow. You remember that part?
That's all pyramids are.
Yeah.
Or drain stops.
So Brandon Fraser, basically, that was a documentary about his life
I
back in
believe
the
so. Yeah.
1920s,
Dude,
right?
believe
Brendan
so.
Fraser was so cool, man.
It was so cool.
There was a
And then
time, like a 6-year period, where he was it.
Yeah, he was everything. And then, like, I don't even.
Encino Man.
Have you heard from him? I've not even heard from him. George
What?
of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle, he was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. That's kind of a zany movie, but I really I like
George
he
of
was
the
so
Jungle.
cool.
Java.
In the first Mummy, he was just like a bad A character. Remember, I'll be seeing you again.
Yeah.
Wait, was
Oh,
Brendan
yeah.
Fraser Encino Man? You're not thinking. Not Encino Man. Was he Encino Man?
Yeah, he was that was like one of his big first movies.
Oh, okay.
Blast from the Past?
Blast from the Past. That's
and
the
see,
one.
and that was so he was
What's
a
the one with the devil?
Yeah, that one with Elizabeth Hurley, which let me tell you about
Elizabeth
his skin.
Hurley. She used to be a pirate.
What was that? Where he makes a deal with the devil. That movie was really good.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled. There it is.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good
it's a good one.
Now
It's a
there's
good
a
one.
there's a Plex movie. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, there's a Plex
Okay,
movie
yeah.
for you with Elizabeth Hurley.
Hey, what was that movie that we told you to put on Plex and watch, and like only guys like it? Like, remember my wife hated
Johnny
it?
English.
That was it. There it was. That movie was awesome.
Johnny
and I don't
English.
understand why.
Why women don't like that
Yeah.
movie?
Oh, because it's
Because it's
It's
hilarious.
because it's a guy movie. It really is.
It's slapstick guy comedy.
When
So
you
I
pull-
looked up why it's a desert over
Oh,
there now.
oh, yes.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
funny. They go, our best guess is because it stopped raining. There's a BBC article that
That's
I found.
literally the definition of a desert.
Like,
Low
our
precipitation.
guess is it used to rain,
And
and
then
now
it
it no
stopped.
longer rains. But the verdict's still out, everybody.
That's Larry the Stuff Guy with our weather update.
That's so funny.
Thank you.
They're like out there looking at the sky. Maybe it just.
Why did this become a desert? It stopped raining.
They're like looking
Oh,
out.
that's like a 2-year-old come up with that answer.
it's 'cause it's not
but it
raining.
took scientists.
I'm guessing it stopped raining.
I'm guessing it
Let's
stopped
go
raining.
to lunch.
Just say it stopped raining. Who cares?
All right. I don't know how we got to that. Oh, Sea of Thieves Pirates. So we got a new update for Sea of Thieves. This is
Well, wait. I want to see what Spicy thinks of this. I think Sea of Thieves has had the biggest influence
Oh.
on the gaming industry of any game last 3 years.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
I don't think Well, I don't know. That's a hard
Everyone's going pirate.
I honestly
Everyone's
think-
going pirate.
But
I
everybody's
honestly-
going cowboy too.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
well,
say.
Red Dead Redemption's another powerhouse.
Yeah, Rockstar. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, Rockstar. No, I really think Sea of Thieves has influenced. You've got Atlas. You've got Skull and Bones that's coming. Apex Legends went pirate themed in their season. You get pirate, or no, was it
No,
not Apex
if you
Legend?
really
Dauntless.
wanted to-
Sorry,
Dauntless.
Dauntless. Dauntless went
But so are
pirates.
you? But see, I don't
Wait, is
know.
Dauntless on
I have a
season
good
two?
argument.
Before Sea of Thieves, did we have pirates?
I
Not
have
really.
a good argument based on sheer popularity.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say Player Unknown has had the biggest
Okay.
influence on the last
Okay,
3
okay.
years.
But as far as themes, that's genres. As far as genres, you're correct. As far as themes, I think everyone's Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves has
I would say
inspired-
John Wick.
has inspired the pirate movement.
John Wick has influenced everything.
Yes, I think you're right there.
There are 2 John Wick characters in Fortnite.
There are two. True doctrine.
What season is Dauntless on? Are they on season 3 now?
I can't remember.
Oh no,
Not-
this is season 2.
Why is there a season 3 trailer?
No, season 2. Dauntless. It's pirates. They went pirates, and there's a new currency that has been added for veteran players.
Pirate currency?
No, I don't remember the name of the currency, but it's for harder players, harder difficulties. There's a new difficulty as well that ups the difficulty levels.
So Loyal Doyle, Hunger Games is not, because Hunger Games came from the idea of what Battle Royale is. There's a Battle Royale movie made in the early 2000s. It's a Japanese movie.
Wait. But it can only be an influence if you've had exposure.
And the Arma mods from PlayerUnknown came before those movies. And books, I believe.
Came before Hunger Games.
Wait,
the Battle Royale modes in Arma came before Hunger Games?
Correct.
I don't think they did.
I don't think so either.
We're talking like 15 years ago.
Yeah, Hunger Games is pretty old.
No. It's not that old.
Yes.
Hey, Stuff Guy, can you get on
Stuff
that?
Guy,
I'm on
to
it.
find out what did the rain do to Hunger Games? Or lack of rain.
But because one of the original, and there was probably an original movie before Battle Royale, and the Battle Royale is the Japanese movie where the high school kids get put on the island.
Yeah, but just because a movie was made, like if it didn't reach pop, like for instance, Back to the Future, everybody knows.
No, but that movie influenced PlayerUnknown to make his game, and then Hunger Games came out.
I see what you're saying.
And it was a mod from Arma 2. So you got to look up Arma 2.
2008.
Arma 2 was 2008?
No, Hunger Games. 2008.
And look up
Okay.
Arma 2. Because that's what when the mod was made for.
I don't.
Well, how long did it take to make the mod in Arma 2 though? Like, right, you know what I mean? Like Arma 2 is out, but the mod for Arma 2.
We have people in chat that remember the Japanese Battle Royale movie.
What was
Looks
it
like
called?
2009.
Oh,
Arma
see.
2.
Arma 2 was 2009?
Yeah.
Okay, when did PlayerUnknown make his first mod? Maybe we should look that
Are you
up.
sure the Hunger Games was 2008? Are you looking at the books?
The books, yeah.
Oh, the book. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought we were talking
No,
about the movie.
the
Right,
books
that's
became
what it would be.
the books
Yeah,
became
because
huge.
No, you're right.
And then
you're
the
right,
movie
you're
was
right,
made.
you're right. I apologize.
Yeah. No, I thought so.
I don't know what to say.
Loyal Doyle. So H1Z1 was before PUBG, but H1Z1
Wait.
employed PlayerUnknown to make King of the Kill. And before that, PlayerUnknown is a coder. He made
In the Arma.
He
the
made-
Arma
made
mods
the Arma mod.
for Battle Royale.
Dude, what has happened to Arma? It's just forgotten about.
Do you know what? You want to know what's happened?
Yeah, tell me what's
I'm going
happened.
to tell you what's happened. Cyberpunk 2077. And okay, you're confused.
Okay,
I get
Yeah,
it.
see this look on my face.
So it was Bohemian. What's that developer?
are we going in like a circle here?
Interactive?
Bohemian Interactive used to have the military funding to make their Arma game for the soldiers.
Oh,
That money now is going to Cyberpunk 2077.
because they're like Norwegian.
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because remember that they had the
they had to hit the date.
remember the Cyberpunk date that we were talking about? That's what happened.
That is hilarious.
So Cyberpunk 2077
Stole their funding?
sucked the funding for the military game.
Yeah, because Arma, in all reality, Arma was just a niche game because it was a military simulator and it was super difficult and incredibly complicated.
yeah.
So
Simulator.
I could see it needs that money. Like it's not a huge selling game, right?
Yeah.
It needs
and
funding.
see what made that game popular was the mods.
Yeah.
Like
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale or World Wars. What was that one? World War Z. I can't remember. DayZ.
DayZ.
DayZ was one of the early mods of Arma 2, I believe, too. Yeah. Anyways, so
I still say themes, pirates.
that's what we were
Pirates.
talking about.
Sea of Thieves, biggest influence in the history of the world.
Yeah, so Sea of Thieves came out with an update.
Yeah, boom. What's the update?
So the black powder stashes is this new thing. Duke is going to send you on some quests.
Duke, I like Duke.
Duke. So basically, what's going to go on is he's going to send you to different areas. You'll get these big black powder kegs. They're just they're like regular kegs, but they're more cool looking.
Sure.
Right?
I
And you
appreciate
can
that.
then take those back and turn them into any faction. You can turn them into Athena, the Athena rep if you need it. You can turn it into.
Have you unlocked Athena?
No, I'm not a pirate legend. You can turn it into Gold Hoarders, Merchant Alliance, or the Souls people.
Okay.
Or if you're maxed out, like I said, you can do it to Athena, which
Absolutely.
is pretty cool. But what's fun in this one, I think it's kind of gonna. It's not necessarily a PvP event, but
Okay.
what it's gonna do is a lot of people are going to be sent to the same place, and you're going to be crossing paths because one person's going to be coming back, you're going to be going out, and basically, since it's black powder kegs, you got to kind of protect them because someone can just shoot your ship and blow it up
Wow.
because it's a
Dude, have you ever shot a
keg.
black powder gun?
Oh yeah.
Boom! boom. It's so loud.
I haven't. I shot a 30-30 Winchester. It changed my life.
So loud. A black
I felt like
powder gun will
felt like
change
John
your life.
Wayne.
It'll blow your eardrums out.
I actually shot your 30-30.
It was my
my
30-30.
dad's.
That's our dad's.
That's so just the lever action.
Shush.
And you're like, guns don't kill people.
People do.
I do. That gun's awesome.
So, yeah, new Sea of Thieves update.
Very
That's
good.
pretty cool. Also, Gears 5 tech test is available now.
Boom,
Be
baby.
sure to check it out. If you want to get it, it is you do either have to pre-order the game or have Game Pass Ultimate. So, dude, advertisements, man. Ads. I don't get it. If you hit the actual link, it'll take you to the news story. But freaking
wait,
ads.
I got to turn this on now. So that's
Gears 5 and the Under Club.
Yeah, so freaking ads get you. So,
What?
So we're looking at show notes here.
We're looking at our show
and I'm
notes.
scrolling down through the Gear 5 stuff, and there's a nice-looking blonde lady.
what's funny is it's under the paragraph
with a nice
that says what's in it. And then
Side
there's a
shot
picture of that blonde lady
her in her underwear.
trying out. It's
and
an
it says
underwear commercial.
Under Club.
Yeah, it's an underwear commercial.
No, very nice.
But anyway,
It is paid content.
You know, it's my
Yeah.
dream to become an underwear model.
Is
one
it
day.
really?
well, if you
One
looked
day.
like that,
One day.
It's not my dream.
Would you be embarrassed if
It's
you were
my
wa-
dream to shoot a black powder gun.
if you were walking through Costco and you look over and there's some Hanes and you're like, "Hey, there's David." Would you be embarrassed?
No.
You'd
I
be
don't know.
impressed, wouldn't you?
I don't know what I would be.
I would just know that.
Hey.
No, David's stuffing again.
Don't need to. That's why they'd like me. Cost less. Less production time. less time in Photoshop.
But they got to get rid of the skid marks.
Yeah. So the
I would never do whites. I'd always do colors.
darks, yeah,
I'd be the color,
darks, yeah.
the color underwear model.
So the tech test.
Also,
begins today.
I'd only be boxer briefs. I'd never do tidy whities. They just don't suit my body.
I think they pay more.
My legs are too big.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have to pay more.
Makes my hips look hippie. Too hippie.
Makes your hips look hippie.
Too hippie.
Like birthing hips.
Like birthing hips. I look like I'm about to birth.
I'm
something.
pretty sure if that's the case, they would not hire you.
Not for tidy whities. Let me tell you. But you take those birthing hips and you throw them in some boxer briefs. Nice contours. Sexy.
Jordan, do you
and those things that attach your socks to your underpants.
Oh yeah.
Those things. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
I
So your
believe
socks never
Larry the
fall.
Stuff
I
Guy
have
was going
tons
to get
of
me.
them.
You
I believe
got
Larry
me
to wear them
some.
in the military.
Yeah, I believe you were going to get me some.
Yeah,
You
they're
got-
sweet. They're
you-
called shirt stays. Yeah, they're freaking.
They're
sweet.
called shirt stays.
Oh, do they
Yeah.
do
They
it?
keep your shirt
They
tucked
connect
in.
to your
shirt.
Socks
Oh, I thought it
to
was
your
underwear.
shirt.
My bad.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it
they'll
was-
pull your underwear right down.
He got me some, and it changed my life.
Yeah,
I
it
had
makes you look so.
permanently super tucked in shirt.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And nice socks.
I like it. Okay, sorry, Jordan.
So, yeah,
we're
the
totally interrupting.
the
The
this.
tech
Sorry.
suspenders of the socks.
They're the suspenders of the socks. If your socks needed suspenders, they don't
But-
anymore.
They're
But-
like a 2-in-1.
It's totally because it keeps your shirt super tucked in.
I have to wear it when I'm not wearing them. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's looking at my shirt. It's so.
Well, then you
untucked
get
right now.
creases and wrinkles. And it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
no good.
Yeah.
It's just no good.
shirt stays. Everybody.
Shirt stays.
Shirt stays. That's what it's called.
That's what we called them.
I wonder if we could get some branded X1Bros shirt stays.
with
our faces
I
on
would
it?
buy that so fast. That would
With
be
our
so
faces on
cool.
it.
With
Yeah.
our faces.
Like all the way down the strap.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the underwear shoot.
And we're in that underwear shoot.
Yeah. Wow. This took a
Ooh.
turn.
So the tech
Gears
test
5 tech test.
begins today. It's going to have the 3 modes: Arcade, Escalation, and King of the Hill.
Boom.
It's going to go all the way till July 22nd. Like I said, to get in, you have to either pre-order the game or be an Xbox
Pass.
Game Pass Ultimate member.
Boom. I love Game Pass.
So be sure to check that out. Borderlands 3
Boom.
had a new trailer. It's called
They
the So
did.
Happy Together trailer. It is actually pretty freaking awesome looking.
Just another
Just
awesome
a-
trailer.
Just a cinematic trailer, but they have the song So Happy Together, and it works
Yeah.
out. And they're all dancing and having fun and shooting each other. And
Yeah. Also, Randy Pitchford came out.
Did you know their magic show? I don't care what the internet says. I think that guy's hilarious.
Randy Pitchford? I think he's pretty cool myself.
I think he's funny.
Yeah. He came out and said, because there was some controversy that there's not going to be crossplay at launch, consoles, PC, they're not going to be able to talk to each other. He came out and said, we will have crossplay. We're working with the different consoles, the different places where it could be, to bring crossplay sometime after launch. So he just basically came out and rededicated himself to crossplay. Dude, this trailer is so sick.
Yeah, it's a good
Oh,
one. That's what I'm playing,
Borderlands,
by the way,
man.
that guy right there.
When does Borderlands come out again?
September.
Oh, Borderlands. I cannot wait. So much character. So much fun.
So much freedom.
So much freedom.
But yeah, in the trailer, it actually kind of shows off a couple different planets. It's a cinematic trailer, so it's not gameplay, but you get to see some of the different planets and areas, and it's pretty cool.
Who's the bad guy in Borderlands 2?
Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack. I was thinking
He's a
the name.
great bad guy.
Handsome
He's
Jack.
funny.
You think he wears shirt stays? Guaranteed. He was a particular dude.
Yeah, I mean, he
His
might.
name is Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
If your first name is Handsome, you wear shirt stays.
There's no
It's a
way
rule.
you're not.
It's a
going
rule
to
to
wear
it,
shirt
right?
stays.
Yeah. You wear shirt stays, and when you play sports, you wear jock straps.
So I went to the store to buy a suit this year.
Okay.
I hadn't worn a suit in like 16 years.
Sure.
Okay. And I really liked this thing called, I don't know what it was called, but it connected your tie to your
tie clip.
Not the tie clip.
I have a Kingdom Hearts one.
Okay,
Ooh.
it wasn't a tie clip. It was the ones. We have this trailer running. We're not even talking about Borderlands.
Dude, Borderlands looks so good, though.
Borderlands looks good. Great. Yeah, let's talk about this. No, it went underneath your white shirt or your collar shirt, and it pops out your tie knot, and it goes underneath.
Oh.
And I thought those were the coolest thing because I've only seen them on like one person in my entire life. And I asked the guy about it, and he just said, "Those were in the '80s. Those are out of style.
They'll be back.
You'll look dumb if you wear it." And I was like, "Oh,
They'll be back. They'll be back. If they
I want
aren't,
one.
if they aren't already.
The 80s are very popular right
The
now.
80s are back, baby.
yeah." I can't remember what it was called.
So, Borderlands 4-player.
All right, yeah, sorry.
4-player co-op online too, right?
Yeah, it's like the
Okay.
point of
That's
Borderlands.
Oh,
that's
boom.
how it's been for a long time.
Like if it
I
was,
just wanted to make sure
yeah, no,
because
if it wasn't, there'd be a lot.
because
of
look how
problems.
that's going to be us right there,
Yeah,
dancing
singing a
around.
song,
Oh, it looks so good.
and then Claptrap.
Anyways, their new trailer. Go check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, very cool. And probably my favorite news story of the week, because I think this game series is amazing. Torchlight 2, if you've ever heard of that game, is
Oh,
coming to
yes.
console, which is pretty cool. So it's coming to the Xbox. It's going to be $19.99 if... Oh, and you get a pet called Yapper the Goblin. And if you get it on Xbox One, you'll also get to enjoy the company of a molten imp.
Ooh,
But yeah, Torchlight 2 is super cool. I like Torchlight 2.
Torchlight 2 is.
I like Torchlight. I think Torchlight's a good game. It was
Torchlight 2
actually-
is the Diablo-like game,
So it
but
actually-
it's like shell shaded.
Well, it actually
right?
came from...
Cell shaded.
Yeah, it's a more toony art
Cartoony?
style. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, it actually came from the developers that created the original Diablo game.
Oh, okay, very
so,
cool.
So there's no auction house.
And you
It's
like
literally-
so it's hardcore.
Well, it's
So what you're saying is it's hardcore.
It's a
it's
dungeon
based
crawl.
more on Diablo 2 than anything else.
What you're
right?
saying is it's a pure, perfectly paced, loot-driven euphoria of a game.
Yeah. I think they actually just said that right there in the trailer. So no, it's super cool. I like it. It's so funny because it like follows the same template as Diablo. The first game, Torchlight, it takes place in the town of Torchlight.
Okay.
And you go down into these mines and you just keep going down, down, down. And then the second game, which is this one, is more open world. You know, it's a really fun game. I have it on Steam. I've played it. I enjoy it. I like the Torchlight series. I'm excited it's coming to the Xbox on September 3rd for a whopping $19.99.
That's not
I mean,
bad.
yeah.
There it is. There's the gameplay right there.
Yeah, right there.
Looks super. I mean, it's Diablo.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, Diablo is so good. We need to play some more Diablo.
I installed it.
Oh, yeah, you
This
got
week.
a 10 gigabyte hard drive from Amazon
Prime Day.
deals.
Yeah,
Prime Day.
that was Major Nelson tweeted it
I
out.
bought out. I didn't even see the tweet. I just saw that it was for sale.
Tweeted it out when I started looking.
My hard drive said 98.5%, and I plugged it in, and then it said 6.8%.
And you installed. Do you have anything uninstalled? Everything's installed.
I've installed everything that I have not beaten yet that I want to
Oh.
play. I think I installed 130 games over the course of 4 days.
Dude, and how much space do you have left?
I think I'm only. I still have 52 games left that are installing as we speak right now, and I think I'm up to 28%.
Oh, very nice.
So
Dang.
that's
I regret not getting that. I
That's
even
3
had
plus
it,
terabytes.
I had it in my shopping cart on Amazon at work, and all I could hear was my wife saying, "Why did you buy that?" And I thought, okay, I won't get it.
if I was there, I would have said, "Why have
I know,
not
I need-
you bought that?"
I know I need you on my other shoulder, and that's the shoulder.
I'm
I
the
need to
devil
listen to.
guy.
Yeah, and
Your
that's
wife's the angel.
The angel. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Just remember that next time.
I know. I will.
It's really awesome. That 10.
So before the show, we did watch the Witcher trailer.
Yeah, the
on
Witcher
Netflix.
trailer was released this week.
Looks legit. Like I was
Henry
impressed.
Cavill.
It's the Game of Thrones for Witcher fans.
It's gonna be awesome. And it's on Netflix.
Yeah, what did you think of the cinematic style, Spicy? Did you think it does Witcher justice, at least from what we've seen in the trailers?
They definitely used the NVIDIA upgrade on Geralt's hair.
It's very, I mean, that detail. The detail is there.
Do you notice it chugged a little bit when they turned it on?
The frame rate went down.
Ray tracing.
Yeah. No, look, I actually was concerned because I don't like to be disappointed in things that I like.
Yeah.
And I don't like it I generally don't like it when things that I like go super pop culture, and Witcher is on that list.
Well, it will be.
Is it though?
Like, if the Netflix series takes off, it will be.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a very popular video game. But to play The Witcher, I feel like you're not going to get a lot of casual gamers playing The Witcher. You know
because
what I mean?
it's so hardcore.
Yeah,
it's a hardcore game.
Like, for example, would you say Grand Theft Auto brings in a lot of casual gamers?
Online?
Or Red Dead Redemption brings in a lot of casual gamers. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like you're a gamer if you want to.
If you've beaten that game, you're a gamer.
I've beaten that game.
So you're saying. So let me get this straight.
Netflix might bring it into pop culture, but it's not there yet. I don't think.
No,
Yeah, that's where I'm.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so when I was growing up, I was like one of the few kids that liked comics. I was one of the few kids that liked video games.
Sure.
And now comics have seriously taken over Hollywood,
The world.
and so have video games. And I get disappointed when they make Thor fat. For example.
But when you say video games, are you really saying Fortnite?
no, well,
Because
well,
yes,
I mean-
I agree. Video games are pop culture, but I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that have driven.
okay, let's
that
that was just an example. Let's remove video games from this. Let's just say comics. Comics now, because of how Marvel Studios have made it everywhere and everything, and now everybody goes to see them. Now my stories that I really like,
They're not pure.
yeah, I like the last Avengers movie. They destroyed probably 6 characters in my brain.
Sure.
That I have cherished over the course of a long time.
Because it's not written for the hardcore fans anymore. It's written for the casual fan.
Not even that. It's written for the moment to make a buck on some of those that disappointed me, right? And that's just what happens when things reach super culture, high culture status, pop culture status. And I'm just saying that as an example. I don't want that to happen for this book series and game that I like a lot.
You'll probably get 2 solid seasons because it's not popular yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that third season hits.
Oh, that's Netflix has done a very good job on most shows
Of their originals.
like
yeah.
Daredevil. I think they did an excellent job.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
The other
and then they
Stranger
decided not
Things.
to make it
Stranger
anymore.
Things. They've done a decent job with Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah, but that was its own. Let's call it an IP. Okay,
Yeah.
that was its own IP, and what that is that's just a homage. Is that the word?
Homage.
An homage. I don't know the word, but it's like a throwback to the 80s, and there's a lot of cool things that you're like, oh, I liked it. I like that in the 80s. You know, you were talking about, hey, yeah, Malls just came out in the 80s, you know, and that was new. There's a lot of things that I like about that, and the show they did a good job on the show and the music, stuff like that, right? So let's bring this back to Witcher. I hope that it doesn't go super pop culture status, and then we lose it in a 30 movies. I mean, let's be real. Like the Marvel movies are like the longest TV series you've ever seen that cost the most money you've ever heard of.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and I liked most of those movies. I just don't want to get hurt.
No, I hear you.
So, so that said, we watched the Witcher trailer. I thought it looked good, and it looks like they're starting from the beginning. From what I could tell, they didn't tell what was going on as much in the trailer, but it sounds like they're starting from the book in the beginning.
Yeah. No, it looks like it.
And and I'm not including like the short stories because the short stories, that stuff.
So you listened to the Witcher books.
Yeah, I listen to all books.
I wonder if they read well because I'm finishing up my last of the Spellmonger series here, and I need another one. So I'm thinking maybe Witcher. I might jump into Witcher.
Yeah.
The Witcher.
Does it translate well? Like that's my issue.
It was
like, 'cause
fine.
I know it was written. Okay.
That's fine.
I read the first chapter.
Yeah.
It translates.
Okay. I'll jump in. So I can become a Witcher historian as well.
Yeah.
I thought Yennefer looked awesome.
Yeah, Netflix series. If you've not watched the trailer has dropped. Go check it out. We all watched it before the show. It was awesome.
Yeah. Anyways,
next turn.
Yeah, next, the Marvel Avengers game. So, at the San Diego Comic-Con, they talked about the new Marvel game that is coming out. So, they basically explained when you finish the prologue, which basically is an introduction to the core or the major characters, which you can kind of guess the major 5, right?
Yeah.
You know, the world opens up to you. You gained access to a reclaimed helicarrier, and from that point, you'll be able to launch into single-player or co-op missions, and the story campaign will just kind of be a linear campaign experience. But what's really cool is it sounds like, and let me make sure I'm not reading it wrong, but it sounds like when you team up with friends or whatever, you can customize your Avenger with their own skill trees and cosmetics, of course.
That'll
right?
be cool.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Who are you going
to
to play
see.
as, Jordan?
I probably usually play as like Thor or something like that.
Okay.
Actually, I really need to play something like this. You know, I'm excited for the Nintendo Switch Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, that
we
just
should
came
all-
out.
Yeah, we should
That
all
just
get
came
it.
out.
It's co-op.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
actually
all get in
installed
a-
that this week.
Oh, did
you got it?
Ultimate Alliance 3?
I bought it a long time ago, waiting to play it,
Oh,
and now it's installed on my 10 terabyte hard drive.
Oh, very nice.
it's on the Switch.
Wait,
No,
what?
no. I'm talking about Marvel
Ultimate-
Ultimate Alliance
3.
That's the one where you play as 4-character co-op. Remember, you and I used to play it on 360. The newest one is only
just-
on the
it
Switch.
Oh,
it just came out.
And it just came out.
Oh, I thought we were talking
No,
about
I think
Ultimate
you're talking
Alliance.
about Marvel versus Capcom.
No, I'm talking about Marvel Alliance, Ultimate Alliance 1
Oh,
and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
I have 1 and 2 on my.
Yeah,
I just
yeah, those
installed
are-
those.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear the 3 part.
Yeah, it's the new one.
Yeah, okay, sweet. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
let's do it.
I'm in.
So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then really fun is shortly after Gamescom, which will be late in August, right? Or this will be late in August. They're actually going to show footage of the demo that will be released. They're saying about a week after Gamescom, so we'll actually get to see an actual gameplay demo of what's going on. This will be really cool. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Dude, me too.
Ghost Recon, the big final update before
Final
the new
one.
game comes out.
Final one.
This one's kind of cool. So it's called. I actually
I
forgot
don't know what the
it's
name
called.
of the update is, but it brings Battle Royale
Yeah, basically.
to it, which its multiplayer is so good.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon.
No, anyway, so what you do in this it's a 8-player PvE.
Sure.
Right? So battle royale.
yeah,
So anyway, basically what you do is you're all dropped into a world with no weapons or anything like that. And you essentially, the goal is to extract, right? Mm-hmm. So what you have to do as these 8 players dropped in, the first thing you have to do is find 3, what are they called, beacons or whatever? Mm-hmm. 3 control points essentially. Radio transmitters is what they're calling them.
I got it. Okay.
So once you find 3 of those, the person that finds the 3, the helicopter will come in, and that person can see where the helicopter is landing. So that's,
For loot?
for extraction. Because
Oh,
the goal
okay.
is to extract, right?
Oh,
Meanwhile,
very
you're
cool.
picking up stuff, right? So if you find the 3 radio transmitters, you know where the helicopter is landing. All the other 7 players can see the helicopter and where it's going, so they can just follow it. But once the helicopter lands, you have to basically fill up your meter, essentially, right? There's a meter that you have to get so much score, so much meter, and then you can extract. The way you can fill up your meter is by, 1, getting these transmitters,
Okay.
or once the helicopter comes in, holding a zone that the helicopter is in. And you can only gain this meter.
So is this individuals or teams?
Individuals, 8 players.
Oh, wow.
So you can only gain meters, what I'm going to call it, if you're the only player standing in that zone. So you have to,
So
basically,
it's
you have to
forcing-
get to the zone, and then you have to
It's
defend
forcing
it.
everybody to kill you. And if you have the beacons, you have an advantage because you can get there, sit, and camp, basically.
Well, you have an advantage because you know where it's landing, so you can run there right away, right?
Yeah, and
Everybody
then
else can
camp.
see where it's going, so you can get there first and start defending.
Dude,
that,
sounds
that
like
point.
Sounds cool. That
But
sounds
then if
fun.
another player kills you, they'll run into that point and start filling up their gauge, is what they're calling it. But you have to fill up your gauge, and then once you fill up your gauge, you can extract and you win. So it's actually a really interesting concept.
That
so
is
I'll be,
That is cool. That sounds
I'll be
like a lot of fun.
fascinated to.
There's a game that we should jump in and play, guys. Ghost
Yeah,
Recon.
it was a good one.
I installed it.
But no, it'll be interesting too.
I did.
Sorry. I'm so jealous.
So that's probably like a really long, boring explanation.
No, I thought it
But,
sounds really cool.
But it is really cool. They have a little video. Anyway, check it out. It looks cool. So
Absolutely. That brings us to the last segment of our show. This is the segment where we take your questions. If you'd like to submit a question, you can do so every week over on Patreon, patreon.com/positive gaming or XoneBros.com/support. First question comes in from the one and only Z Capitan. Z Capitan says, Xbox has had the mantra being about games since Phil Spencer took over. It was known as the shooter console. The Xbox has always been known as the shooter console. The strategy was also at one point to penetrate the Japanese market as well.
Tough.
But it's always tough to penetrate the Japanese market. But it seems like the shooter mantle did not resonate with Asia at the time. Now with that all about the games, it looks like they're seeing serious success in bringing JRPGs into the Western market and focusing on indies. Has Phil successfully changed the perception of Xbox being the shooter console? What do you think would be the definitive flip of the Switch? If so, if not, what do you think will change that narrative? Can I start with this one? I'll take this one. So it's Xbox, traditionally known as the first-person shooter console, and probably primarily because of Halo and primarily because of the controller, right? Everybody loves the Xbox controller. It's considered the best. I think Phil, I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's gotten away from that yet, but I think it's on its way. And I think we're getting new games that we've never gotten before. I'll give you an example. Black Desert Online, right? That's a Korean-made MMO RPG brought to the console, first on console on the Xbox. Doing moves like that, it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen over time. And so I think over time, we will be known. Also, buying studios and throwing money at them and into them to make amazing games will get us to be known as not just the best shooter box, but the best console box to play games on overall. So, and I think we're in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Jordan, thoughts?
Yeah. No, I mean, when you got money, just buy stuff.
Yeah, and not only that, but we're about to break into the Asian market with Crossfire.
Yeah.
The number one, 650 million players, and they're all in Asia playing Crossfire, and it's coming to console. And that remember when that was announced at E3, and we're like, wow, Phil Spencer's he was in the aisle talking about it. We're like, wow, he's making a big deal about this game. I have no idea what this game is. It must be big. And then only to come to find out they're the biggest
game in the world.
And don't they own like a lot of Epic
They
games?
own, yeah, I think they have a piece of
like 25%.
I think they own like 40% of
They're
Activision.
their accountants are very diversified.
Yeah, they've diversified their portfolio.
I think they own 40% of Activision.
Yeah,
which
something
is
insane. They're
So
a
basically,
powerhouse.
they own 50% of the world.
So that game alone opens up the Japanese market. But then, I mean, we're getting other games too. More Japanese centric, right?
Well,
JRPGs.
a lot of what's a big deal to me is you're starting to get a lot of the Final Fantasy games over here.
Starting to get Final Fantasy, yeah.
They're all the old ones, and you got the new 115. But I mean the first Final Fantasy game,
Kingdom Hearts,
right? The first Final Fantasy game, or core Final Fantasy game, was 13, which came to the 360, right? So they've slowly been kind of...
Yeah, what they're going to need to do is we're going to need to have exclusives that are JRPG or
Like a
JRPG-like, or not even that, but
something,
like just Japanese-type games, Asian-style games to get people on that Xbox.
Yeah.
But I think we're in the process of it. Spicy, anything to add, take away?
Well, yeah, I think there's two things we're talking about. We're talking about JRPGs coming to us, and are we also talking about the Xbox going to Japan?
Yeah, I've kind of conflated them because I think they're symbiotic, right? So they're both.
I don't know.
It's a tough market to get into.
It's tough because I could be completely wrong. So if I'm wrong, then whatever. But from what I understand, Japan is traditionally very against importing anything.
Well, they're very loyal, and
correct.
Sony is homeland, right?
And they make so with their tariff laws.
Actually, Nintendo's homeland.
Tariff laws and all that stuff. They make it
Japan too.
Oh,
they make it extremely difficult to have anything imported.
Sure.
I think that's one of the big issues that has been plaguing
With
anything,
video games, yeah.
including the Xbox, because they just don't let it in their island.
Yeah.
You know? So, I could be wrong, but I think that's a big thing when it's not gaming related, like those gamers don't even have a chance to get Xboxes because, I don't even think they sold an Xbox One, like the original Xbox, in Japan, even though they were there. I could be wrong.
Yeah, the original Xbox was...
There's like 200 in there, and they didn't sell any. And I think there's a whole. Yeah, I think Japan is traditionally not allowing.
But I think
anything.
there's a cultural shift too, because like look at the games that Nintendo produces, right? Those are unlike anything that the US produces. They're silly, right? They have funny mechanics, but they're good.
Yeah.
And that's I feel like American, British, Westernized games are much more realistic.
Well, sorry.
And less zany, less out there. I mean, look at Metal Gear Solid, right?
Yeah, that went through me for a loop.
Yeah, right. Well, the U.S. does Splinter Cell. They do Metal Gear Solid, and that's just but they're fantastic.
No,
Well, what's really interesting is to Mark's point and stuff. So like they're very, I call it like a loyal, right? They're very loyal people because they'll buy like, hey, Sony's the homeland, Nintendo's the home. Like these are our companies, right?
Yeah.
But what's really interesting in the past little while, especially if you take, I actually just watched a documentary on Final Fantasy 14 last night. It was really good, 3 parts.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Cool.
Just so you know. But anyway, what's really interesting is, and you've even seen this with Final Fantasy 7 Remake and 15. A lot of Japanese developers are kind of getting away from their, I guess, what would you call it, your traditional way, and using a more Western style for creating games, right?
Interesting.
And they made this comment in Final Fantasy 4. You all know the story of Final Fantasy 14. It launched, it sucked. They brought in, basically, I'm going to call him God, because what he did was amazing. He like turned that game around and just made him a lot of money.
That's why they treat him like a rock star.
Yeah, like you know how game directors usually get switched out every game? They don't move him around.
Yeah, he wears the leather
keep
jacket
him right there. You know, and
he comes in on the Harley.
Yeah, so they don't move him. But he was talking about when they were creating games, they created this as they were creating their other game. Like they hadn't progressed as technology progressed, so they'd have one guy working on a sword asset, and it's the best looking sword in the game. The graphics fidelity is super high, and like he was a swordsmith basically for the game, and it took him weeks to make it. Whereas now we can do that. We can do 20 swords in 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and basically he can,
They've created the printing press.
Yeah, exactly, right. He talked about how they started to shift kind of towards a Western developing process, but kept
keeping your
Japanese
feel,
yeah.
the
So
creativity.
it's super interesting.
That is cool. That is very
out
interesting.
there.
Great question.
That is a good question, and chat's making fun of me because they're
foreign policies.
McSpicy's on foreign policy issues.
Spices.
I'm not.
He's talking tariffs again.
I'm not. I'm just culturally.
Spices are Secretary of State here at the X1Bros.
That's not me. That's funny.
Z Capitan, great question. Thank you very much for writing in. This question is for Spicy. I'm going to give this one over to Spicy because I know he has an opinion on it. Black Knight writes in and says, what laptop would you recommend to run games on? Like with Gears 5, I can play on Xbox and PC, so I'd like to get one. Which laptop would you recommend that's affordable?
Yeah, that's... So, laptop landscapes shift every...
Year?
Yeah, 12. I was going to say 12 months, but
Ooh.
if I do the math right,
That's a year.
that's a year. Affordable is... There's a lot of things that come into play. You got to think about portability, you got to think about price, and you got to think about
Power.
just the balls.
Power.
The balls that
I
are
call
swinging
it
on the
power.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think on our post show, I think it was our post show last week, we looked up the most powerful laptop in the history of mankind.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that bad boy? Oh. It's like carrying around a desktop with a screen on it. That's literally what it was.
So you want it affordable. I would say your price range should probably be if you want to play decent gaming, it should be $800 to $1,500.
Yeah, see, now you think laptops are more expensive because if you were getting a desktop, you could get a really good desktop for $1,000, right?
Yeah. And if you wanted to go, obviously, I mean, laptops are like guitars. If you know music, you get what you pay for, right? Yeah. Every couple $100, they get better.
They're like escorts. If you know women, they get better the more money you pay for.
That's a perfect.
Just try to relate to the people here that don't know music.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, battery life would come into play, but if you are gaming, your battery's not going to be good.
Because you're using your graphics card, your fans are going off left and right, trying to keep that bad boy cool.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say what's funny is I don't know if you heard Major Nelson talk about it, but he talked about how like they're showing off all these new thin laptops and stuff, and he's like, you know what they never show you? The huge battery brick that comes with it, because there's like this big old thing off to the side that you plug into the wall.
Yeah. Good job, David, bringing up escorts. So we can use that as a
I think we
that's our
all
benchmark.
understand that.
Everybody gets that, right?
I think we all get that.
Right?
You get what you pay for. So I would just suggest, since the playing field shifts every 12 months with what's out there, just research Google search and then change the tools and then change within the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And just start searching what kind of hardware is available. And I know this is sounding dumb to you're asking me for your advice, but really do your research because people could be listening to this.
But I'd say probably, I think probably plan on spending $700, $800 at least.
At least for if you want a game on it.
Yeah. But that's going to be your affordable range point. Now, for my dream laptop is Razer right now. Razer is crushing it for laptops. I spent the last month and a half, money burning a hole through my pocket, wanting a high-end laptop. And Razer is what I came down to for everything. Like, they just are doing it right now. They're on fire.
Well, they have the GPU extension things too, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
With Thunderbolt, and they're the cheapest. For $100, for $150, you get a GPU extension, and it increases your power tenfold.
Well, what's funny is if you're going to the library and you're like, you bring your backpack to game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're bringing out an external GPU.
Yeah.
Your Razer.
Well, so what I would do is bring my Razer portability, keep my external GPU at home.
Oh, so when
I'll sacrifice the power on the road, and then I come home and I hook that bad boy up, and all of a sudden I've got a desktop.
But at that point,
desktop.
But that's the question. At that point, why don't you just buy a desktop?
Because portability, man.
That's always the thing, right? But you see,
and the sex appeal.
We're talking about escorts or laptops.
Escorts. I mean, same thing. Laptops and escorts. They're symbiotic. Find me an escort that doesn't come with a laptop.
What?
Doesn't
All right,
exist.
hold on.
It
Challenge
doesn't exist.
accepted. Challenge accepted.
It doesn't exist.
Incognito
When
mode.
she shows up at your place, she has a suitcase, and in that suitcase, there's a laptop. Guaranteed.
I'm going to have to delete my browser history.
Guaranteed. There's a laptop. And most likely, when you're paying high end, it's a Razer laptop because of the sex appeal.
Anyways, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no. Very good question, though, Black Knight, especially with Game Pass. And I'll tell you what, Game Pass for PC, I am loving. So good. Granted, I'm playing a 2 megabyte Wargroove game that could be played on my phone, and I'm using a PC to play it. But I freaking love it. I love that I just browse it sometimes.
So do you know what I plan on doing if he wants to game?
Okay.
I plan on buying a tablet. And did you see the new Xbox controllers? That are like split in half, like that connect to the side of a tablet.
That's cool.
So
Does Microsoft make them, or are they just like an Xbox controller?
So I saw that they're patenting control. I saw the patent designs.
Cool.
So it was
for like your phone or whatever.
Yeah, for just they're like Xbox controllers that go on the side of your screen.
Very cool.
For xCloud.
So like XCon, like Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's the Nintendo Switch, but Xbox controller. I saw patents for like patent designs for that. So my plan, if you want a game, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have my Xbox Switch, essentially, with my tablet for when xCloud comes out.
That's sick.
So that's also an option, too, if that's what you want, because that's going to be super mobile as well.
Yeah, and there you can get a decent tablet for $600-$700.
And the battery life will be a lot better on that.
Because that whole thing is a battery.
Because that's just streaming H.264. It's just like watching Netflix, right? It's not doing any heavy lifting. Your Xbox at home or in Washington is doing all the, or the servers, the cloud servers are doing all the heavy lifting. So all you are seeing is just the stream, essentially. So your battery life will last a lot longer that way.
Yeah, a lot longer.
I'm so excited. That's the future.
The future.
The future gaming is right there.
Is now. It is now. Great question, Black Knight. Thank you very much for writing in. Little old man boy writes in. And he says, crunch in gaming, crunch time in gaming has been in the video game media news as of late, with a lot of AAA game companies being called out for these practices. For those of you that don't know, basically,
you mean
hundreds of hours of games played. Hold on, wait for the question, Ted. Hundreds of hours of
I
work.
hate this topic
really
badly.
Well, but there's a point here.
David, shut up! I'm with Jordan.
Okay.
I think the topic is not what he's...
Oh, okay.
Little man boy says, I know at times even I have to work long weeks due to illness of coworkers and vacations, but what was being reported, something like 70 to 110-hour weeks for month-long time spans, is outrageous for a human being in the best shape of their life. What, as a community that enjoy the games that these companies pump out, can we do to help with this problem? If there's anything we can do at all. He says, I'd like to shout out Respawn. They said they will not be putting out content that fast like Fortnite and Apex because they were not going to overwork their staff. Even Fortnite gave their entire staff a 2-week break because can you imagine the rate that Fortnite is pumping out updates and stuff, how chaotic that must be. Well,
I know 2 animators that work at Fortnite.
oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Their houses are paid off now.
Oh, they're making tons of money. I mean,
Yes,
you get,
and they're just animators.
I mean, you get what you work
and
for.
they work regular hours.
Oh, do they really?
Because
Yeah.
there's different teams. They have different slots and different divisions and different teams. You're not. I don't even want to talk about it because everybody's going to hate me.
Every clickbait story is going to tell you.
I know. It's
that
so frustrating.
that it's mines that these children are working in to get your games out. But when
they're
you-
well rewarded for their time.
No, they work normal out. Yeah, I mean, I put in overtime at my work, and guess what? I get compensated for that overtime. So do they. They're not.
And usually that crunch time in gaming is coming down like right before lunch.
Yeah,
for
and
instance, right?
generally, the only one working that hard and those crazy hours is the game director and the producers. All the other little peons generally are not working. That they're all within shifts. Yeah, this guy worked a graveyard last night. Well, guess what? He didn't come in until 10 p.m. and then he worked till 6 a.m. Right? Like, you know what I mean? There's shifts and teams.
So
and
you're
they're
really
not-
passionate about this.
because it bothers me. Because they're twisting the story to make it seem.
Yeah, I don't like lies. That's the thing. If this was happening for real, then yeah, it's a problem.
Sure.
But I don't like being lied to and manipulated mentally.
Well, here's my thing. Is it happening in some situations? Probably. Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
happening in some situations with every other job out there in the world?
Probably.
There you go.
I remember when I would work retail and I would have to run inventory for 2 weeks, and I put in tons and even my job now. When you have work, you work, and it's hard, and that's life.
Okay, well, let me rephrase this because I think the premise of Little Old Man Boy's question is good.
No, I think the question is good, and I'm not. So I don't mean I'm not attacking you, little old man boy. I'm not. I don't like.
Well, here's the thing about that story.
The
That story
clickbait
comes
stories.
from some websites that really are pushing unionization of game developers. They want to unionize game developers, and so some of these stories are published with that. Keep that in mind that when these stories are published, they're published with the end goal of trying to unionize. And the best way to unionize or to push people to want to unionize is horror stories, right? Like of gaming, like people they're in the mines. We need a union to protect them, right?
Well-
So Little Old Man Boy, regardless, what can you do to support good game companies with good game practices?
You buy their game.
I think that's the best way. Promote their games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything
So if there's
else?
let's be real. If there's a problem, I'll
Yeah.
stand with you.
Yeah.
But I gotta understand that there's a problem.
Honestly,
sure.
I'm just gonna say this.
Do you think
and
small
I'm not-
developer games? Well, for instance, like we saw the making of Super Meat Boy, where you're basically doing it as a love project, right? Those guys, that's your whole life making
Yeah,
that
but
game.
think
right?
of a CEO. Do you think Phil Spencer works a 40-hour work week?
Yeah, I looked up how much he gets made. It's reported like 1.7 million.
Well, I mean, do you think? I mean, he
Good
works
job,
overtime.
Phil
I think.
Spencer.
I'd
I
work
think-
hard if that was my paycheck.
Well, I mean, that's
Well,
what
no,
I'm saying.
those jobs are
he
20.
puts in the over.
Your whole
yeah.
life, it's like a doctor, right? Your whole life becomes
Yeah, and
your
when you
job.
when you own a company,
your job becomes your whole life, rather.
when you own a company like these indie developer games or something, like you're taking on that. Hey, this
and
is
that
gonna be
risk,
my life, right?
high
You know?
risk, high reward too, right? You
Now,
also
like
get
the comment
payoff.
that Titanfall made that said, "Hey, man, we can't pump out as much content as Fortnite."
Sure.
That's not because they're overworking their employees. That's because they don't have as much money to hire more employees
Yeah.
and work. Because Fortnite pumps them up like they're in shifts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Again,
Like,
I would just like to reiterate, that I think a lot of these stories and that have come out as of late. Keep in mind, always, like something I always do when I read stories. What is the point of this story? Like,
Yeah.
what is the agenda of the person writing this story? And a lot of the websites, and they state it in their website, like they're pushing for unionization of game developers. So
I feel
they
bad
have horror
because I'm not
stories.
attacking little old man boy. I just these
No,
stories
I don't
bother
think-
me.
I don't think you
I,
are.
I do think it was a good question.
Yeah.
I just really,
So the way to support good
really don't
gamer,
like those
good
guys.
gaming practices is to purchase their games.
I hate the media, man.
But what if
Sorry.
Wow, Jordan, tell us how you feel.
They just lie to me all the time.
It's true.
Hey, great question, Little Old Man Boy. Thank you
And
very
it's-
much.
It's just gonna get worse.
I know.
Thank you very much for writing in. Next question comes from Reckham. Reckham says, with this generation of Xbox winding down to a close, what do you guys plan on doing with your old Xbox Ones? Are you going to keep them for another room, trade them in to offset the cost of the new system? In the past, I almost always traded my old system in for the new, but with streaming becoming a thing, I think this will be the first time I hold on to it and use it for a different bedroom. Spicy, old Xbox, when the new one comes out, what becomes of it?
I'm gonna keep my X. So this is my Elite. I'm going to see if there's a need in the family that somebody needs to game. That's what I did with my last one.
That's what I did with my ass too. Yeah.
I give it to somebody that can use gaming.
Charity.
In need.
Charity.
Yeah.
screw the kids. I'm keeping mine. I want an Xbox in every room, and I would like to enjoy that Xbox in every room.
Yeah.
No, that's my goal. I at least want that option.
No, I
even
respect
want it
that.
in my kitchen with like a little flip screen or something. Maybe a little
Or the
on wall.
bathroom or everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I respect that.
Thank you.
No,
I respect that too. I just already have 2 of them.
I need more.
At a certain
how many-
point.
What
how
about
many
every
bedrooms do you have,
iteration?
though?
That'd be cool to have every iteration, right?
Yeah, like a history of gaming.
Yeah.
But see, you're not playing those.
But still, I'm collecting them.
You're collecting them for posterity, right?
Well, more for myself. If posterity happens to get them, then good for them. But it's really more for me to enjoy.
No, I decided I'm not going to will anything to my kids. Like, I got it on my own.
Yeah,
Get your own.
Hey.
You know, life sucks.
Hey, see all this money that I have earned for you to have a nice
you can
life?
look at it.
You get none of it.
Yeah.
This is great. We have really good perspectives on life.
Yeah.
Life sucks, then you die, kid.
Yeah.
Deal with
Let me
it.
tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. See all this money?
Have them come into the lawyer and have them burn the money right in front of them.
Oh, you know what
So
I'm
when
going
they
to
think
do?
they're
Have
gonna
you
get
guys
their-
have you guys ever seen Gran Turismo?
Turismo.
Yeah, where
he like
And he gifts the
he gives
car.
it to like
the
not
neighbor?
his family but to the neighbor.
Well, that's because
I'll
the
do that
neighbor
as
was
a
like a
joke.
hard-working dude. He related more to that.
I know I'm going to do that as a joke though. That'd be funny.
Oh, what a
Just
good
invite
movie.
the neighbor that no one.
That's a
knew.
good movie.
Yeah, it was
Great. No, in all seriousness, though, I will. If I have a next one, I'll probably give it to someone. But I would like to have one in every room so that wherever I'm at, I can game. And with games going to be available on all consoles now.
You're not going to need that, though, because of xCloud. That's what he's saying. xCloud, you'll be able to just sit on your toilet. You're going to sit on your back porch.
But that's different.
for the best fidelity
How's
in
it
gaming.
different? You're playing it.
But for the
no,
best
but because
fidelity
I want
in gaming.
I want the console.
xCloud makes every room in your life
That's true.
have
But
the
if you
Xbox.
want the
Okay,
best
that's true.
fidelity.
Then why would I give away my Xbox? Because all those dumb kids are going to have phones too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But you need at least one to play it.
Oh,
well,
that's-
no, you can pay the.
Well, you can
Oh, you
Yeah,
can pay the
yeah.
service. They don't have money. That's why you're giving them the Xbox.
I don't know, man. I think Fortnite's income is a lot of their,
No, that's their parents' money.
that they take.
Yeah.
That now we got to deal with the Senate about. Jeez, There's another topic I hate.
We just don't like being lied to.
Yeah, I just
That
don't-
pisses me off.
Jordan is angry. Jordan's on one today.
Yeah, I just.
This is why in Skylines, Jordan builds walls around people. That's what
Well,
you're doing right now, Jordan.
yeah.
You're building walls around yourself.
I'm inside with them, and I'm on the good side.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Last question comes from my man Matt Bailey. Matt Bailey writes in and says, "Hi guys, a couple of Sekiro Elite controller related questions." He says, "Do you think the Elite controller would help with a game like Sekiro? I'm finding timing deflecting really tricky. It's like there's a slight delay from when I start pressing down left bumper to when he actually deflects, meaning I'm constantly late blocking. Maybe an Elite controller would be more accurate over the standard Xbox controller. Would you buy an Elite controller now or wait until the version 2 comes out in November, which is a pretty long wait in gaming terms? Cheers."
Yeah,
Jordan.
that's a good question.
Jordan.
So I would. I feel like this is a two-part question for me. So for the Elite controller question, I would wait for the new one. Right?
Okay.
No need in spending $150 when in a couple months you just spend 20 more and get the better one. Right? As for the Sekiro question, what I would try and do, because the delay, in my opinion, is probably one of two things: your controller's getting old and you just need a new one, or it's the wireless delay. Right? Maybe try a little hardwire into one of those cheaper, just your regular controllers. Plug it right into the Xbox. See if that helps you out with the. Because you said that you feel like there's a delay, right? So I'd try that first.
It could also be the TV. TVs nowadays, they package it with the TV all these fun bells and whistles
Oh, yeah.
that make the picture quality supposedly better. But what it does is your computer, it's processing the image now, and so there is a delay. Most TVs have a game mode now where
It turns it all off.
it turns it all off, and then you have like a nice clean throughput. So it could be your TV delaying. I know we hooked up my Nintendo 64. It was last Saturday. Blake and my barber and his wife came over.
Yeah.
We played my old Nintendo 64.
Very cool.
And my TV, because I had never put my gaming rig on that TV,
Sure.
it had the delay on it. And so it was actually hard to play Mario Kart because when you would turn, it would be 100 millisecond, 150 millisecond delay. And we're so used to quickness, right? So I would suggest to check your TV and see if there's a game mode, or research your TV that you have and find out how to reduce the delay from what's being streamed through the TV and seeing what you're seeing, right? So that's what I would suggest. That's where probably 90% of the delay is coming from, is your TV's trying to think too hard. That's the end of my sentence.
Do the Xbox controllers still use the proprietary 2.4 connection?
Yeah.
No, don't they use Bluetooth now?
Well, they do.
Which isn't Bluetooth
both.
2.4?
They do both. I think they come with both.
And just make sure no one's cooking in the microwave when you're playing, too.
Yeah.
But like, remember the 360 controller? You know, you'd
Yeah,
pop some
well,
popcorn in your
I remember
characters.
playing Call of Duty. And
Yeah, oh, jeez, who's on the microwave?
My Turtle Beaches were 2.4.
Yeah.
Everyone in the neighborhood was 2.4 on their wireless. And I remember every time my earphones would get scratchy, they would go.
Yeah.
I was in a match, and I'm like, okay, I'll put the controller down and wait till it changes channels, because we have 13 or 12 channels that we can access with 2.4 gigahertz. But it's their proprietary. And Bluetooth.
Can I give an answer to Matt Bailey?
Oh, yes.
Matt Bailey, I would like to psychoanalyze you here a little bit. It sounds like you're projecting your desire for an Elite controller onto Sekiro. Just buy one. It's worth it. I love it. Would I wait for November? If you could get a good deal on the first Elite controller, particularly the white Elite controller, I would get it now, just because that's how I roll. But if I can't get that Elite controller on a good deal, and a good deal would be about $100, I think, because what are they at, $150? So about $100, if you can find a good deal for it, I would definitely buy that now. If not, we all have experience and have had our hands on the Elite controller version 2. It's phenomenal. I would definitely wait till November unless I could get a deal, particularly on the white Elite controller that is out, version 1. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Boom.
I'd wait.
Telling people to spend money.
Yeah, I'd wait.
You can never go wrong spending
Check your
money.
TV, Spicy says. And
I
wait.
say check your TV and wait.
Anyways, great question, Matt Bailey. And I would like to give a special props to little old man boy. You got Jordan fired up like we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
With Jordan, he just wakes up.
There's two things right now that
He didn't
I hate.
even finish the
I
sentence.
didn't finish the sentence. You were like, wait a minute.
Damn it!
Let me tell you about this story.
Back in my day.
Let me tell you
There's,
we didn't have running water.
there's two things that I really don't like right now in the world.
Me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Pirates?
Pirates? Yeah, it sounds like you really.
No, I just,
Prostitutes.
that would
Pirates are
be-
just terrorists. I don't know why we honor them so much. Friggin' terrorists. That's all they are. And yet you play
And
Sea of
crabgrass.
Thieves. And crabgrass.
Crabgrass, yeah. I hate
And and also my lawnmower raised really high.
I'm just saying it's high.
Mine's way high too. I haven't had to mow it for like 3 weeks.
But seriously, great question, guys. We love the submissions. It gives us something interesting to talk about. So thank you very much. If you would like to submit a question again, every week you can do so over on Patreon, patreon.com/positivegaming or XoneBros.com/support. Guys, Wargroove, how's everybody enjoying it? That's what I've been playing a lot lately. Also, Minecraft. I've been Minecrafting it up. Things are happening.
Yeah.
The Crappy Kingdom in Minecraft. Jordan, have you been out to the Crappy Kingdom?
No.
It's Free Radical's Crappy Kingdom. Think of it as the Willy Wonka, anything can happen.
I like
Factory.
those kind of kingdoms.
Yeah, I'm building a giant wall out there with Zula Bus. I mean,
to like block them in, or
to
like that's what I did in City Skylines. You guys
no,
taking
no,
my
no.
ideas?
This is to keep people out of the Crappy Kingdom or the Kingdom of Crap,
or to keep people away.
It's
from
basically
your
the
kingdom.
walls of Mordor.
Is it like the Berlin Wall?
It's
Are you
like the walls of
literally
Mordor.
building.
No.
I think Mordor was like a Berlin Wall. You know.
No.
Well, yeah.
The wall is ginormous. Hey, Trisha can attest to it. Yes, but also Wargroove. Let me tell you, that game. Is
Mordor had a good radar system. They had that wall, but that I could see everything.
Didn't that game come
Yeah.
to Game Pass too?
And I think it went in circles sometimes.
Yeah, like
Look around.
it was totally. It was like the fantasy version of a really good radar.
Yeah.
Because it could literally see whatever he wanted.
Just
Granted, there was no vegetation.
And when the eye like just immediately went to the ring
It
because
was
you
like,
put it
"Oh."
on. That's like when you run or make noise in a game. Just and you,
Yeah.
you bleep.
but it's the whole world.
Yeah, that's cool.
They had good tech.
yeah, and they were always like, "Dude, the eye is fixed."
I mean, Mordor
Sauron,
is
he was
what
a great
made
developer.
Mordor is.
the eye is fixed on Gondor.
I'm pretty sure Mordor made all the rings, didn't they?
Yeah, and they gave him it. That was the idea.
So that
'Cause
was
they
the-
were all like enslaved to the One Ring.
So if this was civilization, they were leveling up tech.
I mean, if you think of the rings that they gave to the humans, they were the ring race, weren't they? The 9.
Yeah, and trapped them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how you do it. Give people fancy things that have curses on them.
That's genius. Mordor, how did they lose?
I really don't know.
Greed.
Eagles.
Eagles. What movie did I see? Oh, yeah.
Sam?
Freaking, no. What's The Hobbit. The Hobbit pissed me
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Oh, Eagles just come and save everybody again? Really?
Well, then I like how he said he invented a camera when he really didn't.
He just strapped
Yeah, didn't he
phantoms
just-
together.
Duct tape a few cameras
phantom
together.
cameras
Oh,
I invented a new camera.
Like the
We
Shadow
invented
game,
the technology we invented for this. So basically you said, you know what we need? More cameras.
well,
Well, that's funny because that's what he did.
did he duct tape like
Wait,
5
who was
red
the
cameras
director of that?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. He's like, we invented our own cameras, and they're literally 2 red cameras duct taped together to make their 3D. Yeah, that's funny. I could.
Well,
invent stuff too.
what's interesting is a movie that came out around that time was the
Look,
new Sherlock
I'm
Holmes.
gonna
and
invent
they
a double drink. Gonna tape these 2 drinks together.
well, what's funny is Sherlock Holmes came out around the same time as those movies.
Sherlock
and
Holmes
they-
used the phantom camera, though.
No, it's called the Shadow Cam. They actually invented a camera to make frame rates go slower. Remember
But no,
that
I
one
thought
scene
that
in
was the
forest?
phantom camera.
I thought they called it the Shadow Cam
It's
because it was
well,
in
the
Game of
Phantom is the
Shadows.
brand of the camera, right? They're the
Maybe I don't know.
It was the phantom camera that they used. For
those
sure
are like
for that-
$110,000.
for that super slow motion.
Hey,
sweet,
have they,
like,
Mark? I actually got a question for you. Have they like progressed technology on the IMAX cameras?
on the computers, like that?
No, like the actual IMAX cameras that like.
Oh,
The big IMAX.
I thought you were talking
Not
about like
IMAX,
an
the
iMac.
computer.
Yeah.
IMAX, the
IMAX.
movie
Not
theater.
the Apple.
Because I remember, because I remember when
What?
Dark Knight Rises came out and they filmed the movie, some of the movie in IMAX cameras, and I remember seeing that you had to like fill it up with gasoline and pull the
No,
string,
and I think
the
there's
motor
only-
was going while they were zooming in on
When
characters.
that was made, I think there was only 3 in the world,
yeah, and they were huge,
and they're massive.
like you literally had to. Dude, it reminded me of a lawnmower when you started it up.
Dude,
and
that was
the
a-
engine's great, and you're like
and that scene
the actors trying to act
at
you
the
know?
very beginning, when they're shooting that whatever.
Yeah, it's all filmed in IMAX cameras.
Yeah,
That's why it
we
looks
saw it in
so.
IMAX.
Yeah, that's why it looks so good.
because the clowns were going across the buildings.
No,
but
no,
that's that
Dark Knight
scene.
Rises.
Oh, but it was shot.
Oh, was Dark Knight shot in IMAX?
Yeah,
too?
it was. Yeah, because they're going to. It's that scene when they shoot the thing and the
Yeah,
clowns
yeah.
go across the top. But that shot when they come out right there, that's IMAX. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, have they progressed technology in IMAX cameras?
I have
they
not-
made them more not
I
IMAX
actually-
is
not diesel machines? You know,
IMAX is too big for me.
I don't think I've ever heard that as an issue.
I know. Weren't you wanting to be an underwear model because of?
Yeah, but that's
So-
not. But this is different. You don't have to.
Where do you sit in the theater? I mean, if you're
okay.
in row one,
You're the one who always says "go big or go home." That's
No,
that's
no.
the top of the chain right
no,
there.
no, it's too big. It's too big. I'm sorry. IMAX, I can't enjoy. It's too big. It's like D-Link. It's too much. It's just too much.
D-Link. Oh, D-Box.
D-Box. Yeah, it's just too much.
D-Link a router.
Wait, what's too big? The camera or the camera?
The
that
screen. The screen is too big because if I can't just look straight ahead to see the
Well,
entire
where
thing,
else? Where do you
this is what
sit?
I got to do in an
I
IMAX.
thought you were talking about filming with the camera.
No, I got to
Because
look.
the camera's
I got to
too big.
look right to
David,
left.
I'm going to
during
teach you a secret.
No, there are no secrets. It's,
Back row.
It's a flaw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where do you
Okay,
sit?
but there's only 12 seats in the back row. Those
That's why
are
you gotta
taken
get-
first.
It's because they're the best seats.
Okay, if the only row that can accurately let me see the movie and enjoy it is the very back row, then just get rid of all the other seats.
No,
just start at the back
it's
row.
not
Make,
it's-
make row one the back row.
I'm just saying it's the only row that will make you enjoy it.
You know, I
No,
actually
it's too
never
big.
understood the
It's too
idea
big.
of the front row.
Everyone
Like,
that
why would
says
you-
they enjoy it is lying to you. Speaking of lying, those people are lying to you.
Well, here's my question: Is
I
why
enjoyed Dark
You're lying
Knight.
to me.
I don't how some people like why do people pick the front row?
Because they're
No,
dumb.
but see, new theaters.
You usually don't have a choice.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why even make a row? Like, that's just a horrible seat.
Well, they don't make them anymore. Kind of. New
but
theaters.
there still is a front row.
Yeah, and you're like-
it still sucks. It doesn't suck as much as it once did, but it still sucks.
They'll still
If you could-
on big movies. They're still going to sell them over time.
Oh yeah.
It'll still make its money.
What I would do is I would have a movie theater with no front rows.
I would just have one seat.
Or if you did get the front row,
Maybe
you got,
two.
There's an incentive.
So your own theater.
There's an incentive because the front row is recliners, so you can just because you're always like.
No, but then the
Squatching down
perspective
anyways.
is all messed up.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
What about all recliners in your movie theater and the screen is on the ceiling?
Isn't that called planetarium?
Yeah,
I actually enjoy the
Yeah, why not
planetarium.
make it? No, but see, a planetarium's round, so the movie would look funky. I'm talking flat, everybody's on a bed, a Casper mattress or something, just fully reclined. You're just looking up, enjoying the movie theater experience.
Is there a certain screen they use, or do they just paint the
choking,
wall white?
Choking on food. Snacks would be an issue.
No, it's not a big deal. I do that sometimes, but
Laying
I put
flat,
like
though, but laying flat.
Choke on
On-
food.
I choke on food all the time. It's not that big of a deal.
You just cough it up.
Wait, what were you talking about? No, planetarium.
Food. Eating foods.
Planetarium's great.
Laying down, watching the movie theater, laying down. Food would be the issue.
You can get one of those bendy straws.
Drinking laying down is hard too, though.
No, that's why you get the bendy straw.
Ooh,
You
what about
angle it.
what if you got one of those 3D handed out the 3D headsets
Goggles?
to everybody? Yeah, 3D goggles, and gave everybody the perfect seat, and they could sit anywhere in the room, right?
That's called my living room.
Yeah, I know, but if you want, well, you're right.
What if
Yeah,
we
that's
did
stupid.
like a Thanos snap moment where
got it.
you pass out?
No, check
No,
this out.
listen. You pass out. 50% are painted, so you can't see the movie, but 50% are like really, really good. So it's like a risk, right? That you're going to waste $12.
Why would I play that? Why would I do that?
Because you could say, I won the lottery. I was able to see that movie.
No. What about a swimming pool theater? They have bars in swimming pools. Why not a movie theater?
They have that on a Disney cruise.
See?
I watched Incredibles.
See, Disney.
Oh.
Disney
It
knows
was
what they're
awesome.
doing on their boats.
But I think a lot of cruises do that.
I've
I
not
don't think
been on-
that's
But what
unique
if
to
you
Disney.
what if
I've
you
not
spill
been on
your
one.
food in the water?
How about hot tubs for a seat? Just give me a hot tub.
But again, the food
Or
in the
even
water.
better, reverse the lay down so my face is hitting the ground
And you get a
and
massage.
I'm getting a
the whole time.
massage
That would work,
while
but
watching
again-
a movie.
How do you do the
But
feeding?
eating will be hard.
Eating again is the problem.
oh,
How do I eat through that little hole in the thing? See? And that's how movie theaters they've got it figured out.
Except they keep making
this-
the front row.
This is the optimal eating.
I got it. You could do concubines. No, check this out. No, watch this. So you know how? No.
Jordan, do you know what concubines are?
They're the ones
you
that
using
like.
that correctly?
No, I hope in Aladdin when they're feathering, they're the concubines.
Yes,
they're-
but there's more to
So
a
you wanna be-
No,
concubine than just
yeah.
feathering.
Those are the really good ones. You just need the other ones. No, what I'm saying is, you know how you pay extra for like the reclining and the heated seats?
No, you pay extra because you know a good escort when you see one.
No, instead of paying extra for the heated seats, you pay extra to have someone feed you, and then you can sit any way you want. And maybe
I'm
fan
sure you could go.
you. I'm talking Disney
some
concubines,
prince
like from Aladdin.
Some prince in the Middle East.
You're like, can I pay $5 extra for a concubine, please?
Excuse me. I've got the concubine punch pass there.
What if it's like the hot dog guy at a baseball game? And he's like, get your concubine.
No. He's selling hot dogs.
No, what would
and Jordan is the guy at the baseball game. He's selling dogs. You're like, I'll have one. And he comes over and he feeds it to you.
That's what, then you can sit any way you
He
want.
like holds your
Well,
head.
wait.
He holds your head for you and puts the hot dog in.
What else would you call that person?
I don't know.
You know, the people that feed you grapes and
Screwed.
and fan you with the big old feathers.
Yeah.
They're the concubines.
Wouldn't they get in the way of the other moviegoers though?
Well, you have like a row, you know.
The concubine row. You got to come up with a different name.
Row,
What would
row
you call 'em?
69.
That's
Yeah.
in Aladdin. That's what they were called. No one got mad then.
I don't think they were.
I think they were
just
in
called,
your
like,
head.
belong.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
they were
you
just
called
called
them
like
that.
servants or
Is-
something.
it was-
Oh, we'll call
belong.
them, sir. You can call them servants then. But isn't that offensive? You know,
No, they're literally servants.
Concubine's pretty offensive too.
Concubine is way better. It is way better than servant. Being called a whore is way more respectable. Being called a whore for your way more respectable
What do
than
you
a
do?
servant.
I'm a concubine over at the Megaplex. Oh, I'm a manager. I manage the concubines over at Cinemark.
I hear there's good money there.
It's good running. I'll tell you what, though, it's just hard to find good people nowadays to work for you. No, I don't think you get the. I
don't think you understand what concubine
the
means.
full
No,
concept
no,
of a concubine.
And Disney used it. No one,
No, they didn't.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's in the.
They use it in Milan.
Yeah,
but
there
the
you
real
go. See,
story
yeah.
is
There it is.
the Mongolians
Or the
like come in
concubines.
and force the women to be concubines. Like that's the
Yeah, they used it in Milan.
yeah they did.
You know what another word for
Hey, that's a
concubine?
great
You know what
movie.
another word for concubine is? Sex slave. Well, so what Jordan is proposing is movie theater sex slaves
Maybe in Vegas, right?
or condiment slaves.
No, it worked. It worked in Mulan. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
They saved a nation.
They were doing it right. Oh my goodness!
They became a man there. You did.
Guys, that does us for the day. Thank you very much for the week. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't yet, let's hit that outro button.
Okay.
But if you haven't yet, please head over to iTunes, rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And please share us with your friends. We love having fun. We love hanging out with you. We love talking with you. This is what a great community. We're really grateful for everybody for being a part of the community, for hanging out. You make the community awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed our takes today. Jordan was on fire. To recap, Jordan wants concubines at the movie theater.
And he was pissed.
And he likes building walls around people. It was a great day. Thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you next time.